Hey guys, Thomas the Solution here, aka Mustached Tom, here to review the movie Shaft, featuring Samuel L. Jackson as Father Shaft, as he now has a kid, and it goes through the years of abandonment as after a gun shooting early on, Shaft and his girl, his main lady, are left to their own devices, and she wants nothing to do with all the nonsense. So, young John goes through the base years of kind of knowing that his father's got around, stuff of that nature, as time has gone on. And Shaft had a few other jobs here and there. As we cut to present day, as John now has his own fair lady, as well as a friend who gets killed in action. It is ruled that he overdosed. However, John grows very suspicious of that immediately, and after seeing that he can't really get into this whole main job, he decides that he wants to go out and figure out what really happened. So eventually he goes to Shaft, who eventually takes him in and shows him the ropes of how he does things his way. Going to a club, getting a little bit of party time, doing research the old-fashioned way, guns in blazing, asking the direct questions, while John brings in the more tech-savvy side, the more updated side. And all the while, the two of them sort of gather intel along the way, talking to this lady Benny, afterwards talking about this group that he was a part of, something of Brothers, associated with the title of the group, which does get mocked a bit. The humor in this ranges from old school versus new school, of the way of, how man is supposed to be, from Shaft's old school sort of, you take charge, you do it the manly way, and then, you do it that way, versus Jordan's more apologetic, more, be a part of your feelings, and apologize, and own up to stuff, don't be afraid to show your emotions. So it's a duality between the generations, and I do appreciate that. The generational difference and the sort of differences you can see between them and the similarities, as John isn't just some tech guy. He knows how to do some martial arts here and there. He gets into a bar brawl and does some capoeira, which is a martial art I really appreciate seeing when it does come up. So he does know how to do that. He actually does know how to use a gun later on in the film, but he says he hates guns, but he does know how to use them efficiently. So, Shaft also connects this. He's starting to see a connection to the person who was responsible for getting them broken up in the first place. So he's seeing this straight-lined connection, and John eventually catches on, and then there's that whole bit about oh, you're responsible for this, own up to it, and all that stuff. They try to make contact with the mother, who's pretty pissed, and then she eventually figures out that John was the one who went out to get Shaft's help, and then the two of them go to get more intel. They find out that the whole brother group was a front. Eventually, only to gun up, and Shaft goes up to his dad. I'll just call him father Shaft, I guess. I didn't catch his name. Um, so the two of them join John in breaching into this facility where the deal is going down, and in the process of all of that, at some point, John's girl, I think her name is Shanna, I think, got caught in the crossfires of everything, and then she was used as a hostage. So a huge, massive gun-out begins between the Shaft family and these drug dealers, and Shaft's particular old drug dealer guy that he's going up against is there as well. And he's able to take off his load, while John also gets to save Shanna from these guys. So, after all that, Shaft, or I should say John, well, technically, yeah, that still fits. John goes to the police station where he's reinstated, because at some point it was like, oh, you're fired because you didn't do the good job, you broke the rules and blah blah blah. So he's given his job back potentially, but John refuses and decides to go outside with his Shaft family, and they all wear the red coats and the black shades, and they ignore traffic and they head off to their next case. And that was Shaft. It was a fun movie. It was pretty enjoyable seeing the generational gap sort of movie, an action movie as well. I think this is based off of an old movie, that being Shaft. I'm pretty sure, and then it was just a generational update. So this is sort of like a passing of the torch film. So I'm always a fan of seeing the torch being passed down. I'm not sure if this is a new actor here that they got for John here. I'm not really sure. I haven't seen this guy around before, so I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, I thought it was pretty enjoyable to see the bouncing off of these two characters, the comedy that they threw around, the action, the intel gathering. Pretty good stuff. I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. And that is my review for Shaft. If you enjoyed it, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also make sure to check out those links in the description. One will head over to my Discord server, the other to my Patreon page. Any donations are greatly appreciated. And until next time, everyone, bye-bye.